If you're anything like me, you're really confused right now. In life, with just decisions, maybe your future, maybe in content. There are so many things happening in the world and everyone is just trying to make it work. I've been doing YouTube for 3 years. I've posted everything from business content to self-improvement content to traveling content. 3 years ago, that kind of content was really popular. People could give out advice, people could go and show travel videos, and the thing is, that's just not the case anymore. The way that I see content headed is in a totally different direction from the traditional sort of YouTube content that we see today. I think it'll start morphing into something quite different, and I hope I can teach all of you how to sort of get in front of this curve. I think content is headed into one of 3 ways: AI, tech and sort of tech reviews, and personal content, or sort of this building style of content that you're starting to see. The bottom line of YouTube is that you cannot grow if you do not have proof. The thing is, with a lot of YouTubers, they're teaching something, and YouTube is usually an online education platform. But if you are trying to teach something that you have no expertise about, or that you simply do not have enough proof to start teaching people about, 1, you will not get views, and 2, it's not true to yourself, and you will start to not like the content that you're putting out as much because you're not building something yourself. The content on YouTube isn't building enough for you to be like, oh, I'm building an online brand. I've been doing this for 3 years and I only have 1,000 subscribers. I started when I was 16, and I admit I don't have a lot of expertise on a lot of the subjects, but I have a lot of expertise over the years about talking about self-improvement, travel, and business. However, that content just isn't popping off right now. So you have to sort of go about it in a different way. Instead of showing proof, there's a different kind of way that I see content growing, and that I see a lot of people trying to go down, and I see a lot of people on YouTube who are actually growing a lot because of this. I used to own a social media marketing agency that made me about $10,000 and gave me enough money to go and take a full gap year, fully funded, and that was all built by me. I did the outreach, I did the filming, I did the editing, I drove to my clients in person and shot content for them. Now, towards the end, I started hiring online employees that did some of the work for me, but then I went and I left on my gap year. And now I don't have that anymore. And do I want to keep building that? Not really. But the thing is, I'm in a space where you need to be an expert in something, and that's just not what I am. I know a lot of things, but I'm not an expert. So here's what I think you should be doing with your content to grow on social media and to also start consuming content the right way. Because for me, I haven't found anyone on YouTube that I've really resonated with in a while. The last time I really resonated with someone was all of those self-improvement creators and people trying to make money online back in 2022. But like I said, that content just doesn't do well anymore, and those creators are starting to get less and less views. So where do you see all of those big creators going? Well, they're moving to non-edited content, or at least very little editing. They're moving to sort of more raw videos, more videos where there's not as much editing, and more videos where you're actually building something with your audience. A great example of this was Sam Sulek. He was sort of the first person to start to do this, start to upload daily on YouTube, talking about gym, about going to the grocery store, talking about nutrition and just fitness in general. But he was doing this in a way where he wasn't editing all that much, and he was taking the viewer along with you. Now, for the creator, this can be either very easy or very hard. This can be very easy for a creator who is very good at public speaking and has a lot of experience talking without cuts, or is pretty well versed in what they're talking about. And it can be very hard for a creator if they're not any of those things, or they're just starting out, or they're starting to create content that maybe they don't know too much about, or they're not good public speakers. But why do you think gaming content does well, for example? Why do you think those big long playthroughs do well on big channels? Well, I think people get more invested in those long playthroughs rather than those short gaming moments, because the person who is posting that gaming content is building something with the audience. The audience is going through it at the exact same time that the YouTuber is. So I think a lot of people are going to start to go into sort of the gaming playthrough sort of niche, like I like to call it, and build something with their audience, or go through something with their audience. And I think at the very, very beginning, like gaming content, you have to do a lot of different things in order to find what you like. Me having 1,000 subscribers is pretty small. In the grand scheme of things, 1,000 subscribers is a small amount. But because it's small, you have the liberty of creating new content, experimenting with new content, and trying to see what works, trying to problem solve, trying to troubleshoot any content, trying to build new thumbnails, etc. YouTube will stop showing content to people who don't engage with it anymore. And I don't know what it is on YouTube right now. Maybe it's just me, but I don't find a lot of creators that are really impactful to me anymore. So that's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna start posting content that would be very, very meaningful for me. So now I'm just gonna film stuff that I enjoy doing and that I enjoy building. I'm gonna take you through what I normally do day to day, and I'm going to give you some advice or at least some things that I know about that specific thing so that I can maybe help you learn something. I can maybe help you have an epiphany about something, or maybe help you find some direction in life. Because about a year ago, that's what I really needed. So if you're making content right now, I would say if it's not working, stop what you're doing right now and switch to this non-editing style of content. Post on short form content, one take videos. Post on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts is a little different because it requires you to do a little bit more editing, but Instagram and TikTok specifically, they are really pushing those one take, those raw videos that people seem to watch longer and that people seem to engage with more. And I'm not sure why that's sort of counterintuitive to everyone. If people watch more, then these companies make more money on AdSense, on promoting other things, and just watch time in general, being on the app more. So now I think instead of doing hyper edited content, I'm just gonna take you through what I think people would like. And you should do the same. Whatever niche you're in, whatever content you've been making content about in a while, maybe stay in the same niche, but just simply simply package it in a different way that isn't boring editing style that people seem to know everything about already. You need to bring something new to the space, and you need to switch up your editing style if what you're doing right now isn't working. Upload as often as you can and edit as little as you can. This doesn't put a ton of work for you, and it makes the audience love you even more. So comment down below what you would like to see me do next, and if you like this style of content at all. I'm gonna start doing a whole bunch of things that I like: gym content, making music for my videos, business content, college life, because I'm gonna be going to college soon, anything like that. And if you like any one of those videos, please comment down below. If you like those videos, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, so that I can give you more meaningful, valuable content that I love to make and that you love watching. And if you're starting a YouTube or you're trying to grow on social media at all, just post that video. I've been doing it for 3 years, and I can tell you it's not gonna happen on the first video. It's not gonna happen after the second video. It might happen on the third, although it's pretty unlikely. I am on, I think, my 125th video, and I'm still on 1,000 subscribers. And I don't see that as a bad thing. I see that as me learning consistently, and I see that as me trying to build something. And even though it's slow, I am learning every single day, and that even if you've been posting for 3 years and you only have 1,000 subscribers, you should be proud of yourself, and you should be proud of where you've been and where you've come from, because it's hard. Making content is hard. And I think trying to get it right is super hard. And I think if you're young, especially like me, and you're not maybe an expert on a lot of things, but you have a lot of knowledge across different areas of your life, try to diversify your content and try to see what sticks, see what sticks to the wall, see what is doing well. Because right now is a very, very uncertain time on YouTube, because views are decreasing on big creators, and views don't seem to be going up a lot for small creators either. So where are those views going? So I don't know, maybe that's just me, but that's my 2 cents on everything. And please comment down below if you want to see any videos in particular, but I'm gonna keep building content, and I'm gonna keep building up my life and try to become the person that I've always wanted to become, build a physique that I like, make content, build a business, and do all of that while I'm building with you guys. And it's not gonna be in the edited style that I've kept doing before. And it's just gonna be one-on-one, you and me, and you're gonna see me build everything. And I want you to build with me, whether that's a business, YouTube channel, anything. Build with me so that you can see real-time progress like me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.